Hi everyone, Hunter here. So last week I finished The Count of Monte Cristo. I was very happy to knock that off the books I have to read before I die. It was great. I'm going to have a video on that, but probably next week I think I'll publish it. Anyway, after I read a book that's more substantial like that, I tend to try to go to a book that is more popcorn reading. You know, basically like if you were to watch Netflix and be on your phone, something that is enjoyable, you don't have to pay too much attention to, something you don't really have to reflect on in life. And generally my go-to series for this is the X-Heroes series. So there's 5 of these, and so I've been using them as cushions between more substantial books. Unfortunately, I did not know that only 5 of these were published. I saw that the last one, X-Isle, was published in 2015, 2016, and then I had to look to see when the next one would come out. So I did a bit of Googling, and it seems that the author, Peter Clines, said that it doesn't look like another one's coming out because, as you would expect, when a series comes out, the first book sells the most, your second book is going to sell less, and it just keeps going down until it's almost not profitable. This is a problem for me because I want more, and there's more story to be told here. I need to get some of you guys into this series. That's my goal from this video. So here's my pitch. X-Heroes is the story about this guy, St. George, the mighty dragon. He is a superhero in Los Angeles. Then the zombie apocalypse hits. Yes, it is a superhero meets zombie apocalypse story. It's fun. It's not going to win a Pulitzer Prize. You're not going to go to your literary fiction class in college and speak about this, but you're going to enjoy it and you're going to have fun. So the first book is mainly all about the world falling apart, people getting together, the superhero team, establishing, shelter, trying to figure out the rules of the universe, all the basic stuff. And then we have a big boss fight at the end. Naturally, what happens in these scenarios is we always wonder what happened to the US military, right? We don't have free healthcare in this country. Where's all our tax money going? Well, it's going to the military, so they need to step up. That's what Expatriates is about. They knock it out in the second book. We pick up some more main characters that we'll have for the rest of the series, including one of my favorites, Madeline. Then we go to Excommunication. So these books, even though they're zombie superhero books, are generally pretty grounded. This one gets pretty fantastical. There is a choice in here that is far different than the rest of the books, and it stands out amongst the rest of the books as something very unique. Not necessarily better, but definitely unique. The 4th book, Expurgatory, is a nice little break because it is a interesting, almost like a mystery. Everything's back to normal. And of course, the last book to be published, Exile. I loved this one. This was my second favorite of the series. There is something I need to warn you about, and it's something that drives me insane when I'm reading these, mainly because I cringe and then I just get so annoyed. I get so mad anytime I have to read anything from this character. Stealth is this hyper intelligent woman who wears a skin tight suit and is the most intelligent person on the planet. And she speaks in the most annoying way possible. I'll give you an example. So let's say me and you are waiting for our friend Javier. Javier is supposed to arrive in 30 minutes. And then I say, oh man, I wonder when he's gonna get here. Well, Stealth would say, Javier is gonna arrive in 26.25 minutes. And then I'll be like, what? How could you even know that? And she'd go on a long rant about, it's simple. I just deduced from the following factors, blah, 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 blah. Because she's the most intelligent person in this book series, the person arrives then. That is bad writing, and it happens all the time in this series with Stealth. So anytime Stealth shows up, I am angry. Some of these books are pretty stealth heavy, and I seriously dislike those. But you're getting some awesome characters here. You're getting St. George, which is the superhero of Los Angeles. The mighty dragon. He can fly and he can breathe fire. It's pretty hype. He's great. The second book introduces Madeline. That's not Madeline. You'll find out who Madeline is. And she is great. Another thing that bothers me about the series, they rectify it later on, is that it does the evil Latino thing. The main villain in the first book is an evil Latino who leads a street gang in Los Angeles. This writer, I believe, transitioned from screenplays to that. I think it says that on one of the bios in the book as well. These books feel very much like screenplays in a way. And I would say by the time we get to the last book, Exile, even though it still feels kind of like a TV show because there's an A and B plot, this feels substantially better than the early entries. My main point is that Hollywood treats Latinos like animals and like criminals, and this is like a common thing. There's a bunch of statistical evidence about this, and I kind of want to make a video about it, and I've been working on it, but it's just taking so long. Basically, Latinos don't appear on screen. When they do, they're cartel, they're gangbangers, or they're like illegal immigrants. It's not good. You don't get like a lot of wholesome Latinos. This book, of course, makes the enemy, the bad guy in the first one, evil Latino. So all the superheroes are white, black, and then the evil brown Latinos come in, as per very Hollywood, right? And they have to, band together to beat them. So that does bother me a lot. But this series is a ton of fun. It's something that you can just read. You could turn your brain off. I just read Exile in, I don't know, like 5-6 days, and it wasn't especially heavy reading. Also, these are my favorite covers in the world. Like, these have by far the best covers. And it would make sense since, it's supposed to be comic booky, but look at this. Don't you just see this? And doesn't this just make you jealous? Don't you wish all your books look like this on a shelf? This stuff is impeccable. This is impeccable art. And this is a pretty iconic drawing here. Like, imagine if this was the issue 1 of a comic book, except that, look at that on the spine. Look at that. One of these does not follow the format of the rest of the spines. Why did they do that? I have no idea. It's the second book in the series, and then the rest go back to the traditional thing. It's not as bad as the 4K Blu-rays for Nolan because it's different companies. So Warner Brothers have their logos here, and then another company has their logo up here. But why does the same company, Broadway, have 2 different logos? If you guys are worried about how the series ends, there are definitely plot points that are left open. There's one especially that is completely, they just shove it in your face. But for the most part, it kind of ends in a way that you could be like, oh, this is a fine wrap to the series. I just assumed he was taking a break. I didn't know he was done with the series unless sales go up. In my mind, there's at least 2 more based on loose plot threads that need wrapping, and a 7-book series would look good. And 7 of these on my shelves would look dope when they're all connected. Thanks for watching the video, everyone. I'm Hunter. I'm a writer. I work in TV, and I work on some of your favorite TV shows. Also, I started a Substack that has nothing on it yet, and I want you guys to sign up. I promise when I write stuff on there, it will be substantial and you will enjoy it. But I'm kind of using it like a newsletter, and then maybe I'm going to use it for like my year-end awards for like best books, best movies, player hater of the year, all the things that I enjoy, best video games.